Section 13. Metamodels and permissions. In this section we will look to cover what is a metamodel and how is it used, how to govern a solution by way of user permissions. Section 13a. Metamodels. A metamodel is a logical process view which shows the interaction and relationship between each of the themes or elements within a repository. The term metamodel is often deemed to be over-technical, and so for this purpose it is often referred to as a business landscape. In this guide, the term should be thought of as interchangeable. A metamodel not only provides a visual aid to understand what the relationship and interaction is between each element shown on the view, it also provides the functionality to look at the information behind each of the elements. In the following example, we will look at the relationships and linkages between tutors, subject, and locations. To begin with, we shall create a new view that will house this information, and therefore under #views, create a new view called metamodel. Having done so, double-click on the view to open. We now have the necessary canvas for our view, and therefore can add the subject matter by dragging on #tutors, #subject, and #locations onto the view. Space the three elements out in a formation that it is easier to draw the relationships between them. Now we can demonstrate the explicit and inferred linkages between these elements using the link section found under the Home ribbon tab. The explicit links are those where we have created relationships, for instance between #tutors and #subject. To join these, click on Links and then choose Relationship Links. You'll notice the cursor has become a pencil, so then firstly click on #tutors, followed by #subject, and a Create Relationship Link pop-up will appear. The area we are interested in is the Choose a Relationship for the link area, which details any applicable relationships that can be used. In this instance, tutor subject. Choose New to link these two elements together. The remaining links that we will show are all inferred, i.e. we have not previously defined them, but we can infer in this example that tutors are based at a location and that subjects will be taught from a specific location. In order to create these linkages, select Links and then Line. Click on #tutors and then #locations to create the first link, followed by #subject and #locations. Having joined these three areas together means that other people using the repository will be able to see how the various components are joined and how they interact with each other. Obviously, this is a very simplistic example, but as your solution grows and perhaps 20 to 30 themes or more are in use, and these documented interactions become very important to maintain, especially when multiple people are working on a repository at the same time. Section 13b. User groups and permissions. User groups and permissions provide a framework for the security rules within a repository and allows authorized users governance over these rules. Themes have permissions that control which mood users and groups can perform which operations. We would strongly recommend that permissions are applied to groups and should only be applied to an individual user by exception. Hence, once you have defined the relevant permissions for a group, the same permissions model can be applied to one or more users by simply adding these users as members of the group. In order to demonstrate how to apply permissions to a theme, select the College Roles theme and then click on the padlock symbol located under Element under the Home tab ribbon. The permissions visual at display shows for the selected user or group whether they have the ability to edit, view on web, or manage permissions, by way of the tick boxes shown in each column. Towards the top of the page, click Group in the Effective Permissions For section and then select Everyone from the drop-down list. The green ticks show that everyone group members will be eligible to edit, view, and manage the #tutors element and all children of this element. Now expand the Everyone Can area to the right of the #tutors to amend the permissions for these elements. We can also set permissions for individual elements. Click the expand icon to the left of the hashtag tutors element and note the 3 grey ticks associated with each tutor. This indicates that these permissions have been inherited from the parent hashtag tutors element. Now expand the Everyone Can option for Adrian Fletcher and untick the Edit and View on Web checkboxes for this element. Note that the grey tick icons change to a gold padlock to indicate that the inherited permissions have been overridden, and hence the Edit and View have now been disabled for this particular group member. If a parent element has its permissions changed, you might also see a grey padlock symbol to indicate that child elements have inherited a disabled permission from the parent. In this example, we've disabled the edit permission for hashtag tutors, and you will notice that Alison Briggs, Andy Blaine, etc. have been disabled as these permissions are inherited from their parent. Permissions are set by designated administrators, and they can tick or untick as appropriate for other users to determine the permission level needed. Finally, the library permissions section enables authorized users to apply a permission model to library items, matrices, queries, etc. Permissions can be applied to all library types, such as queries, or at lower levels. So for instance, you will note that we can set permissions for all queries, the general queries group, or an individual query. Permissions can also be set for groups. However, user members of the group can have individual permissions that take precedent over group permissions. In order to view individual users and groups, click and expand on users or groups. When a new Mood repository is created, this will automatically create the administrator and anonymous roles, and additionally the administrator and everyone group. Note that these are out-of-the-box users and groups cannot be deleted or renamed. Also, any new users created within the solution will by default be part of the Everyone group, and that this group does not have a members section, as membership of this group is automatically implied. To create a new group, right-click on the Groups item and select New from the pop-up menu. Overtype the new group item that is created to give the group a suitable name. In order to review, add or remove users from a user group, open the group in question, such as administrators, and the members section will show the current members. This will also show the designated home page for the user group and will allow this to be specified and amended as applicable. The administrator user in Mood is the super user. Certain functions can only be carried out by the administrator or members of the administration group, i.e. changing field and theme definitions and editing model masters. It is best practice for each user to log in under their own Mood username. By managing permissions, the administrator can prevent users overwriting the work of another user, and it enables a full audit trail of events to be maintained. The process for creating a new user is to right-click on Users and then enter the relevant details into the Create User pop-up. Section 13 Exercise 13.1 Create a new user called an.example. 13.2 Create a new user group called test group. 13.3 Make an example a member of the test group and assign the group homepage as homepage.